Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back with another Reddit interview. Today, we're with Mike Jones making his BKFC first appearance.
What's up, man?
How are you? So, do you have a nickname, Mike Jones, or it's just Mike Jones?
Just Mike Jones. I don't know if you can give me a nickname, man, after the rapper guy made it famous. So it's kind
Yeah,
of that Mike Jones, I guess.
it's all good. So, you are making your first appearance. You're fighting Eric Lozano. Lozano. Yeah. He's 1-2. He's got a loss to, of course, Hunt. Everybody loses to Hunt. Minus one guy, and then he's got a big win over Riki, and then he's got a loss to Boswick. So it's a good competition, I think, for you for your first fight. Are you excited?
Yeah, he seems like a tough dude. So yeah, I'm ready to go in there and have some fun, dude.
Yeah, he does like to throw the hands, which I like. So to me, like I was watching, I've seen him, and then I watched your last MMA fight, and I mean, he and that other guy look exactly alike.
Yeah, that's what me and my coach was talking about. He just looks like another version of Jerome Hatch.
Right. So this will be your first time with making a bare knuckle fight, right? But you've fought other bare knucklers before, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess Jerome fought for the BYB. I guess he was like their police gazette world champ there for a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
so it was fun to beat him up.
It was so interesting because he was throwing power shots all day, and you're using your like length to stay away, and then you absolutely clipped him and put him away. So, I mean, are you power puncher? Or are you more like one of those guys that gets a lot, lands a lot of shots, and then is then able to go for the finish?
It just depends. My MMA style's always been boxing heavy. I don't throw a lot of kicks. I use my wrestling, which I'm probably a better wrestler than anything, but I don't like using it because it's a lot of energy and it's funner to throw hands. So yeah, I just kind of use my length and then just try to pick my one shot. Have good knockout power, so it's worked
Yeah.
out.
So we talked to Keith Richardson the other day, and he said that actually having a good wrestling pedigree, he felt helped him in BKFC because you're able to maneuver the opponent where you want him to go. Do you feel like that's going to be the case for you?
Oh, absolutely. And then with being able to clinch and throw strikes, that dirty boxing stuff, I think being a wrestler, you have a big advantage in that. Yeah, you can tie up and beat them up.
Okay, so you took quite a long layoff after COVID. Do you feel like that helped recharge you, or like were you just getting kind of burnt out, or like what led to the layoff?
Yeah, I was burnt out. I was done with fighting, dude. Man, I kept making it to these big regional shows, fighting dudes that are in the UFC now and short notice fights, and I just got kind of discouraged. I make it to that level, I lose, that guy goes to the UFC, then I got to start back over, and it was just one of those things where, yeah, I was kind of done for a minute, and then took a couple years off, and now we're having fun again.
So you had I don't know, like close to 2 months notice for this fight coming up. Do you like having the notice, or would you prefer to like be like the last minute thing? Do you like being the quick
It's
turnaround?
it's a love hate. I like the short notice because then I don't have all that pressure, thinking about the fight all the time and what's going to happen. You're just laying in bed, just like, shit, what's going to happen with this? you know, um, so the short notice is fun because then you just get to go in there. You don't got to think, you don't got to worry about it. You don't have that added stress, but it is nice having a long camp to prepare.
Okay, so what's your walking around weight, and what weight will this fight actually be at? Like 185 or
We're fighting
175?
at 185. Yeah.
Okay.
Normally I walk around 210. Sometimes I'll get up to 215, but after my last fight in August, I fought at 185 and I didn't really gain all the weight back. I've been sitting around 205.
Okay, so are you one of those guys that you've cut weight enough that you can just naturally do it? Or are you like in the sauna suit? You have to go hard to cut weight.
Oh no, I've got it down to a science. Like I've done it so many times. I used to go to 170
Right.
a lot, but yeah, now that I'm getting older and it's not fun to do that. So I like to enjoy life a little more now. So 85 is a pretty easy cut. I don't really have to do too much to make. I can diet down to 195 and then just cut 10 pounds of water.
Oh, perfect. That's easy. So we've heard a lot of guys who are MMA guys that come to BKFC say that they like that they can like not have to go to wrestling practice, not go to jujitsu practice. They can just focus on one thing, and that their body actually likes it more because like they don't take nearly the beating. So have you noticed that yet, or?
Well, I felt great. Yeah, that's where I always get hurt or like sore and hips all messed up from wrestling. And I've had to do that for the last month or so and just going in and focusing on throwing hands, my body feels great.
Good to hear. All right, let's see. What else are we going to try? Oh, so I was curious if you had a long-term contract or if you were like, I know when Chris came in, he said he wanted to do single fights because he wanted to kind of bet on himself. So are you under contract or are you like doing a one fight to see how you like it?
So it's a one fight deal. Yeah, I just want to see how it's going to go. I mean, it looks like the most fun ever. So we're going to do one fight and then hopefully if it goes well, we'll get another one. But yeah, I want to keep my options open as well. I mean, I still want to compete in MMA as well too. So
cool. Yeah, it seems like that's the one thing that BKFC is cool about is they let you, they say, we need you for this fight, but if you want to go have fun outside of it, I mean, you look at like John Dodson, he's fighting in Ryzen and stuff, you know what I mean? So like they're definitely not like the UFC where it's like you're locked into that contract. They're all about if you can make money, then go do it. So
yeah, absolutely. That's right. I love that about that.
Yeah. So are you from Salt Lake or?
I'm from a couple hours south of Salt Lake, small little town, it's Emory County. It's a small town. We had like one stop sign or one stoplight in the whole county growing up,
Yeah.
So, yeah, a small little farm town.
So are you like, I mean, you've done a lot of regional stuff. So do you have a pretty good following out there in Salt Lake or?
Yeah, I sell a lot of tickets out here. Yeah, I think this year I've probably got the highest selling tickets at the Maverick Center. Besides, I think there was one guy that sold a little bit more than me, but yeah. We got a lot of guys I got a lot of guys from my hometown. Like they travel up the couple hours and for every fight I got, and they support pretty good too.
Cool. So being out there in Salt Lake, do you feel like the elevation is going to be an advantage for you going into this fight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know any different. So, I mean, I did go fight in New Jersey once, and I noticed a huge difference with the elevation. But I don't know. I've grew up here. I fought here, so I don't know coming back up to the elevation how much it really going to affect him. But I mean, from what everyone says, it sucks.
Yeah. You're like, what do you know, right? Exactly. Do you do any do you go up to higher elevation to train, or you just train everything in Salt Lake?
Just everything in Salt Lake. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do, like hiking and stuff, but I ain't going up and like hitting mitts or training.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw like Lorenzo Hunt was up there hitting mitts at like 14,000 feet or 12,000 feet. Like it's just crazy. Yeah. Okay. So now again, like I hate to mention Chris Kzi all the time, but he's so active on the Reddit. So like he gets lots of shout outs. So, you used to train with Chris Kzi, right?
Yeah. We trained out at, in Denver. Yeah, we actually I believe we had the same management team. And so I was going out there to fight for LFA and needed a gym to stop at and cut a little bit of weight. And my management team hooked me up with Chris and then went out there and then ended up going back for a week and training and end up loving it out there and end up moving there and training for a year.
Okay. Were you single at the time or like, cause you're married, right?
I'm married. Yeah. So at that time I was separated from my ex and yeah, so I was pretty much single. Yeah.
Yeah. So it made it easier. So where are you training at now?
So I train out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance here in Salt Lake.
Dude, he was one of my all-time favorite guys in the UFC back in the day. Gumby. Yeah.
He's probably helped me more in my MMA career than any coach ever has. Just, I think the dude's forgot more about fighting than I'll ever know. So it's just the mental side of things is he's helped me a ton.
Is there anybody else that does bare knuckle at your guys' gym, or is it kind of like you guys are having a learning curve because you're the only one?
Kind of a learning curve. Yeah, I think I'm going to be the first one from our gym to go and do it. I don't know too many Utah guys that are doing it besides that Jerome Hatch guy I just fought.
Right. Let's see what I was going to ask you. Okay, what's your job? I know, like I've been bugging you a lot today. Like, what's your job? You said you have a stressful job, so.
Oh, it's not too bad. I'm an estimator for a structural steel company. So
okay,
kind of an office nerd, crunch numbers, do math all day.
So is that you're a big number guy? Like you like that, or?
Yeah, it's good. I'm new to it. Before that, I was working as a welder, and before that in coal mines. So that's all I've ever done before. So this is kind of a change of pace. Actually sitting in an office all day instead of doing the manual labor thing.
Well, I see that belt over your shoulder. What's that about?
Oh, that was one I won here in August. I got the middleweight championship for the local promotion out here in Utah. My last fight.
So is it a local promotion? Is that something you look for? Are you looking to like defend that belt, or is it kind of like you did like a one shot thing?
Yeah, they've
Or?
been hitting me up to defend it. They want me to do early next year, but I took this fight, so I told them we'll see how this goes, and you know.
Do you remember how you found out about BKFC?
Yeah, so I've seen a few fights here and there. I really wasn't watching it that much, and then actually bringing up Chris Kzi again is, I follow him on social media and always keep track, and that when he started doing it, I kind of started paying attention a little more, and then that card in Denver, the last one when he fought Hunt, that was like the first full card I actually watched, and yeah, so then I started watching some of the guys in my weight class, and then right after that, they announced they was doing the tryouts out here in Utah, and they were, or my gym was hosting it. Horn's gym was hosting it. So it was like, and he's like, yeah, I think you'd do well at that, so you should go ahead and give that a shot.
So are you like kind of like an adventurous guy? I mean, most people don't want to get punched in the face with a bare knuckle. I mean, it's one thing for the gloves, but I mean, like, you have like that dog in you. You don't care. You just want to prove yourself, or?
Yeah, just fun, man. I'm just having fun with it. Like, I love to fight. Like I said, like in my MMA fights, I've wrestled since I was 4 years old, but you can go look at my record. All 10 of my wins have came by knockout.
Okay.
I think I've shot maybe one takedown out of 23 total fights that I've had. So just kind of get in there, and maybe not the smartest game plans, but it's the most fun for me.
So we did an interview with Andrew Yates, and he's over there in Grand Junction, kind of over there by the Utah border. And I don't know if you know. Okay, sure. So he was talking about how he needs to start conditioning his hand more because he broke both of his hands in that fight on the Colorado card. So I wasn't sure if you were doing anything to kind of condition your hands yet, or you're just gonna kind of play it by ear and see what happens.
So once I decided I was going to go do the tryouts, I reached out to Chris. He gave me some tips, but yeah, ever since then, for the last couple months, I've been doing all my pad work, bare knuckle, a lot of bag work, bare knuckle, just condition them, and it's gotten a lot better from that first week. I'll tell you that first week my hands hurt, and yeah, it's a lot better now.
Okay, so what do you like? Who's your biggest supporter? Like, who's super passionate about getting in your corner?
Actually, my wife. She's probably the biggest supporter. She's a fighter as well. She did a lot of Muay Thai kickboxing bouts.
Oh, cool.
And so yeah, she's kind of like the one that hooked me up with Jeremy Horn once we got married and stuff. I wasn't training, and she talked me into going there, and then yeah, the next thing I know, I'm fighting 3 months later. So
does she still compete, or is she retired?
She don't compete. She still trains, and she's at the gym with me every day. And
that's cool. Yeah. You guys can feed off each other and train. That's really cool.
Yeah, she's a way better striker than me, so I can learn a few things from her.
The women's division needs more fighters. I'm surprised. They're not trying to. When they go out there, they'll try to sway her.
I mean, it's enough money. I'm sure she'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you like. There's that big Thailand card coming up in a couple of weeks. They're going to do the bare knuckle Muay Thai fight. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet to watch.
So where's your favorite place that you fought at? I mean, you've got quite a few fights. Is it mostly local, or are you?
Yeah, so probably fighting at the Borgata out in Atlantic City.
Oh, cool.
That one was a fun one. That was probably the farthest I've ever fought. Yeah, I fought Sean Brady out there for their title out there. It was fun. That was probably the coolest place I fought. But then I fought LFA one time. So.
LFA. So LFA used to be Ring of Fire, right? I think back
or
in the
day. RFA, which is like Resurrection Fighter. I think they integrated.
There's so many names. Yeah.
Yeah. I fought out in like Pueblo, Colorado for them. It was a different place.
Okay, so what else are you passionate about? Like, what do you do for fun, like when you're not training?
So I bought a Harley. That's been fun, just hopping on and riding. Growing up, I raced motocross competitively. I raced professional for a little bit, right out of high school. So that's always fun here and there. I mean, I don't do it as much. Hunting. I actually just last weekend just got back from elk hunting. That was fun.
Were you successful or?
I wasn't, but my cousin was. I was with him. I kind of went up the wrong side and scared everything over to him, and he got a good shot and killed a bull. So
you're very helpful.
Somebody got one. Yeah, I did I packed a lot out too.
Do you archery hunt or bow? Or rifle hunt or?
It was a rifle hunt, yeah. And then mostly what I like to do is waterfowl.
Sure.
So I like to duck and geese hunt a lot. So
You have the dogs and stuff, or you?
yeah, I have a black lab. He's my boy. So yeah.
I'm sure you and Yates like love to talk about this because I know Yates is like a big time waterfowl hunter with
Oh,
all.
is he?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I know. That's cool. Yeah, I know Yates. We went out there, actually fought in. They have a gym out there and a promotion they run, like Golden Boy Fights or something.
yeah.
Just went out there and fought like in 2012. Fought on one of their cards when I was amateur still.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
I met him.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, do you remember your first amateur fight? Like, do you remember how it went and everything, or?
Yeah, so my first amateur fight, I was living in Gillette, Wyoming, up there working at a coal mine, and I was like out of high school, working at a coal mine. A couple guys I worked with, they're like, "Yeah, we do jujitsu. Come roll with us." And I'm thinking, I was like, "Okay, whatever. Sounds fun. I'm out of shape. I'll go do it." So I went in, and it really wasn't a gym. It was the dude's house, and he had a 10x10 mat, and we put it in his living room, kind of just. I think this was back in like 2010 maybe, and Wyoming didn't even have an athletic commission at the time.
Sure.
So it was like a Wednesday. I went in there and we grappled around, and then they, hey, this promotion Ring Wars coming into town on Saturday. You want to fight? And at first I was like, no, dude, that's crazy. I don't want to do that. They talked me into it, so I fought literally like 2 or 3 days later. I fought that Saturday. Never trained, didn't even know how to throw a punch. So yeah, that was my first fight. I remember the guy started throwing punches at me. I had no idea what to do. I ended up double legging him and ground and pounding him out.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're just like, I'm gonna smother you and pound the crap out of you. So
yeah, imagine if I would have lost it, I probably would never have done it again.
But, that is pretty interesting to think. Yeah. So you didn't go for one of the submissions you learned during that grappling class that they taught you, huh?
No, I don't. Yeah, I had no clue. I just went back to my wrestling.
What weight did you wrestle at in school?
171.
Okay, I was a 71 pounder too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
171.
Okay, so what's your biggest pet peeve? Like, what do you not like?
I don't know. That's as far as what?
I don't know. So it's funny because you and I, right before we were talking, like you and I are both like super passionate about being on time. Like time is my biggest pet peeve. I hate people that waste my time, and like, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, I'll second that one. I get the worst anxiety. I'm always like 15 to 30 minutes early and everywhere I go. My wife is exact opposite. So that's like the biggest, most anxiety I ever get in my life is when we got to go somewhere.
So you tell her you have to be there an hour before you have to be there.
Yeah,
So
I've done that. I'm like, she'd ask me what time we got to leave. I'll give her 30 minutes before we actually have to leave.
Are you a superstitious person? Do you have any rituals or anything that you like to do before fights?
No, not really. When I first started fighting, like the walkout song, like I'd always keep the same walkout song, and then once I lost, I'm like, okay, I got to change that song, but I haven't done that for a while. I just kind of pick whatever I'm liking now.
Do you know what song you're going to come out to in Salt Lake?
Probably "Sleeping on the Blacktop" by Coulter Wall.
Okay.
And I just like that song. It's kind of that outlaw country type.
For sure. No, I like that outlaw country stuff. I've met like Demon Jones a couple times. I really like that dude. Cool. There's some really cool guys in that scene. I like them.
Yeah.
So then I assume that you're, I heard, or I was listening to one of your interviews, and you hadn't been past like the third round in like 6 or 7 years, right? So you don't see this upcoming fight going the distance. You see it being a knockout.
I don't. I mean, the 2-minute rounds could change things. I don't know. It's going to be pretty fast paced. So, and the way Lozano fights, he kind of likes to brawl. So I don't see it going past, or the distance anyways. I think in my pro career, I've had one fight go to a decision, and then I haven't had another one go past the second round. So
cool. Yeah. All right. Well, is there any sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Built Bar. They've been a big support. Spilt. Their drinks are amazing. It's like caffeinated chocolate milk.
Oh, that's cool.
With protein. Yeah, it's really good. And then Bucked Up's actually sponsored me for this fight as well. So
congratulations. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then what the heck's Getting Our Smoke On. It's a barbecue company out here It's
Cool.
best barbecue in Utah, so they always they've been big supporters. So yeah, those three for sure.
I totally thought that was going to be like a vape shop or something. So getting my
No,
smoke on the barbecue
no,
shop.
it's a barbecue store. They cater and do all that. And then also getting a shout out to the Ravage Wrestling Club. So I help coach youth wrestling, and it's fun. They always show up to my fights and huge support. And yeah, so I love those kids. They always show up.
It's cool you get a fight on a pay-per-view card because, I mean, it's huge. I went to the pay-per-view card in Colorado. The only thing that's a bummer is, holy crap, the ticket prices compared to a normal show for the – and I get it, you have to pay for those big names, but holy smokes, the ticket price is so different.
Yeah, it's definitely – yeah, I sell a lot of tickets out here, but then I see the ticket prices. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to sell a lot of the nosebleed seats, I guess.
Yeah, I know it's one thing like when you can buy like a table for $1,000, and then at this show it's like the front row, each ringside seat's $1,000. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's expensive.
Well, I appreciate all your time, and thanks for your interview, and we look forward to seeing you.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, sir.